Good morning. I'd like to open the Polk County Board of Commissioners. It's June 1st. Commissioner Polk is excused today. I'd like to call this meeting to order. First agenda, actually, there are extra agendas on the back table for those wishing. First one is comments, not on this agenda. Hearing none, we're looking for approval of agenda.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Approval for the minutes from May 25th.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And approval of consent calendar.
So moved.
I'll second that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimous. Next up is supplemental budget for 2021-2022. Resolution 22-05, Mr. Greg Hanson.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the board, before you in your packet is a resolution for a supplemental budget. A supplemental budget is by budget law is necessary when a fund during the fiscal year exceeds 10% of what it was originally budgeted for. We have a number of funds that this will involve, and also we are through this process, we're creating a new fund to house monies that we are receiving from the state or have received from the state a day or two ago. So I will go through the budgets that are affected in this supplemental budget. Just for reporting purposes, the general fund isn't changing at all. However, because of expenses out at the fairgrounds, we are increasing the general fund transfer by $250,000, which in essence doesn't change the overall bottom for the general fund. It just changes the amount of money that we have in the transfers and in the contingency to balance out the budget. The next budget that is affected by the supplemental budget is the Marine Patrol budget. We're increasing the Marine Patrol budget by approximately $115,000. That's because during this fiscal year, the Marine Board bought us a new boat, but they don't buy it. We buy it, and then they reimburse us. I think the total on the boat was $114,987, but I made it $115 because math's easier that way. So we will be increasing that. Won't require any general fund money. You're getting that reimbursement from the Marine Patrol or Marine Board. Then the actions that I talked about in the general fund, it's increasing the fair fund by $250,000. We will probably not have to utilize all of that money. They are receiving grants and other things, but I put it in there just in case to cover costs. Right now, we're in the process of, things that we've done in the last month or so are tearing down one of the buildings that existed out there, and we're re-roofing a number of barns, and we've made improvements to the main building and that. So that's what makes up the increase in expenditure. And then the other fund that I talked about was creating a coordinated housing fund. This will be a new fund. It's in the amount of $3.5 million. We will be receiving revenue from two sources. Whether they all come in during this remaining fiscal year or not is unknown. We have received $1 million of the $3.5 million. The other $2.5 million is coming from OHA. I have a feeler out to Noelle to find out if she knows when OHA is either going to release a contract to tell us what the $2.5 million rules are, or if they're just going to give us the money and when. So that's what makes up the $3.5 million. The $1 million is a pilot that Commissioner Gordon was very involved in and is leading the efforts for our county. I think 8 counties received pilot money, all in the amount of $1 million to begin to address homelessness and put together a 5-year plan and a number of other things. But I don't need to go into that detail for the supplemental budget. So those are the things that are affected by the supplemental budget. And I recommend approval of the supplemental. Any questions?
Good.
I'll move to approve the supplemental budget resolution 22-05.
I'll second that. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Budget passes. Consultant selection, Mr. Greg Henson.
It's my meeting. As you are all aware, we're in the process of working on the ASA, which is the ambulance service area plan. Our plan is outdated and needs to be updated. We've been meeting for 4 or 5 months. I think January was our first real meeting, maybe December, but I think January was our first real meeting of the committee. And that during that process, we decided to solicit bids from vendors or consultants that could assist us and put together an updated ASA plan. We released that RFP in April 11th. We received them at the end of April and have been analyzing, asking the input from committee members. No committee members really responded. So, yeah, kind of, but not a lot of effort was put into the review. So I've reviewed these, and the county will be paying for this. So the recommendation is to select Emergency Services Consulting International. It's actually ESCI, not ECSI, but it's ESCI. They are a local firm. Their headquarters is in Wilsonville, but they do work all over the United States and maybe into Canada. And then the other consultant that we received a response from was Cambridge. They're on the east side of the United States. They were proposing to do all this by Zoom or by video conferencing. They were a little cheaper on the base price. However, I don't see how you could do it all remotely. And for every time they would come out here, it was going to cost us an additional $5,000 for each 2-day stay. So, and looking at it all over, felt that ESCI was going to be the best option for the county. Like I said, they're local. They've done this work throughout the Northwest and across the United States and Canada. The cost is a little under $45,000. And I would recommend that we notify ESCI that they are the consultant that we've selected and then move the process forward. It's going to take probably 4 to 6 months to do the whole project and update.
I think this is a great move forward for a very needed plan for the county and the people who live here. So I'm full on board. Do we need to give you the authority to sign the contract?
No, it's 45,000.
Okay.
I already have that authority.
All right.
I mean, yeah, there are going to be a lot of changes with our ASA plan. Both Sheridan and Southwest Polk both passed operating levies to enhance their ambulance service, which will then probably reconfigure our maps and that. Currently, Southwest will be operating 2 ambulances, but they don't even have a service area right now. So this plan will look at everything in totality and then put a service area together. I can't tell you that everyone will be happy with the new map, but it will probably be what best serves the citizens of Polk County. So that's our #1 concern, at least at the county level.
Just point out the southwest corners and the northeast corner of the county has very little service right now. We're looking at about 30 minutes response times to our areas. So
Or
this
longer.
will- or longer. It's going to address those needs. So it's a much needed improvement.
Nice to have the objective look of a third party to
Yeah.
recommendations.
Exactly.
So you don't need a formal motion.
Yeah, well, he says yes, so
All right, well, I'll move to select ESCI as a consultant to develop Polk County's ASA.
I'll second that. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Order good. The Board of Commissioners have a need for an executive session today.
Yes, sir. The board will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192-660 sub 2E to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to negotiate real property transactions. The members of the media that are in attendance are reminded they're not permitted to report on anything that they